Do you ever think back to the day when you beat your first video game? Maybe you beat Pokemon Gold under the lamp in your living room, or Ocarina of Time back in the late 90s. What if your older brother or sister helped you beat Super Metroid? Or it could have been Man vs. Wild on the Wii. We sincerely feel bad for you. There are many great emotions to experience in life, like getting accepted into college or landing that dream job you've always been eyeing for so long. But obviously none of those emotions are greater than beating a video game. Oh shit. You spend so long grinding and you feel so immersed in the world. The story is so captivating, you feel a connection with the characters, you pour hundreds and hundreds of hours into a game, and man, when those credits start rolling, your tears roll even faster. It's a bittersweet moment. You didn't want to stop playing that game, but you got to witness the beautiful ending, and damn, it feels so rewarding. Some of these don't even have to be good either. Some can be huge piles of garbage or simple games that you play to pass the time. But when you press the rewind button and go all the way back to the time when you beat your first video game, we bet that was a pretty special moment. Today's story is about unlocking a specific memory stored in the back of our minds. A trip to the inception of achievement and glory of reliving the fond memory of beating our first ever video game. However, this memory is disoriented, drifting deep within our subconsciousness. The padlocks guarding this moment are rusted and deteriorating. Nonetheless, this journey is still worth sharing as we go back to the beginning to recover the answer to the question: what was the first video game that we beat? Ah, what a momentous occasion it is when experiencing a your first moment. Playing your first video game, receiving your first video game or console, losing your first tooth, getting your first kiss, going through your first breakup. Well, you probably want to forget about that one. But a moment you probably don't want to forget, if you're filthy gaming nerds like us, is beating your first ever video game. Well, unfortunately for us, we do forget that moment. We both clearly remember losing our first tooth. Can't we just replace that memory with beating our first game? We're sure that there are some gamers out there that may have a difficult time recalling what the first video game they beat was too. You might say, oh, I think it was Yoshi's Island, but maybe it was Donkey Kong Country. I don't know. It's not like you can remember everything that you did growing up. As you grow older, most of your childhood memories fade away. They aren't all permanent, and that's normal. Gaming is our #1 passion, so surprisingly, we don't have any recollection of what our first video game we beat was. I mean, we've been playing video games practically our whole lives, before we even learned how to spell our own names. So why do we have a hard time remembering this one specific memory? Alright, let's figure this out. So we stated that gaming is our #1 passion. You can say we're quite the Nintendo fanboys. Sorry, PlayStation and Xbox. You guys wait your time, maybe another day. During our early high school days, we went through a phase. An emo phase? No, a nerd phase, where we endeavored in beating as many games as possible. We dug deep into our backlog, got new games as we were fascinated in playing other franchises for the first time, and even experienced playing games that we never thought we would play. See, PlayStation? We care about you. Throughout this phase in 2012 and 13, we documented the games we beat in this notebook, and it was pretty fun. So, early 2014 rolls around, and that's when we asked each other, wouldn't it be even more fun to compile a list of all the video games that we beat in our lifetime, not just the ones that we are currently playing? Or, in other words, a catalog of all the time we wasted in our lives. But making this list proved to be a bit more difficult than we anticipated. We decided it was best to start from the very beginning, the first video game that we beat. But what exactly was our first video game we beat? Our memories are kind of faded. I think one way of figuring this out is taking a look at all the potential candidates and eliminate the obvious ones. Okay, yeah, sure. So we spent our childhood during the N64 era and early GameCube days. We also play a lot of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games too, so quite a lot of options here. These were some of our first Game Boy and GBA games, but we're pretty sure we didn't beat them until much later on. So let's just push these to the side. Well, we can count out these games since our older brother didn't let us play them. Can't really blame him. I wouldn't trust us devious twins either. Donkey Kong 64? Yeah, we put like 200 hours into this, but it took us like 10 years to beat. Oh yeah, Super Mario 64. Yeah, this has potential to be the first, but the problem with this one is we both remember defeating Bowser individually, but we played this at a really young age, and we can't recall where it fits in our timeline since it took us a few years to beat. Smash 64. Now here's another game that we played the hell out of. Sure, classic mode can be considered the story, but just like these games, yeah, our older brother didn't let us play classic mode for some reason. It's pouring out for the younger siblings. Here we go. Mario Party, the OG one. Wait, Mario Party? Isn't that just a party game? Actually, no. We remember there's a story where you have to face off against Bowser in some sort of final showdown. Oh yeah, remember playing that level and taking turns? Yep, I remember that. God, that was such a bitch to beat. Yeah, sure, we beat this. Yeah, why not? So, feeling content, we jotted on Mario Party as video game #1. The list is looking good so far. From there, we really thought hard of the next games that followed. I beat Mystery Dungeons at the end of 2006, right before New Year's. So yeah, this one goes here. I got spear checks on a birthday while in 8th grade. Yeah, let's put that one next. So after the rough drafts were complete, we concluded that each of us beat around 60 games at the time. As you can see, the lists are quite messy because we forgot about some games and kinda had to squeeze them in between some of the other ones. Reading through the list, we surprisingly only beat about 25 games each in our early to late childhood days. Yeah, it wasn't around until game 40-ish that we took this hobby more seriously in 2012 and we went on our rampage. Some of the order of these games are wrong too, and we were definitely missing a handful. Currently to this day, our lists have expanded to over 220 games each. Yeah, we're pretty proud of our list. Or are we? You see, as we stand here examining our lists, something just doesn't sit right. Was Mario Party really our first game that we beat? We're both known to have great memories, but us beating Mario Party isn't so clear to us for some reason. To be honest, we don't really remember the credits or anything. Just us huddling around the TV trying really hard to beat it. Is this a sign of a false memory? Nah, we beat it, right? I have an idea. Why don't we just put the game in check? Sounds logical. Alright, this might come off as awkward, but we lost our game. If anyone has seen our copy of Mario Party, just please reach out to us. Yeah, to cope with this misfortune, we bought this copy about 5 years ago to replace the one that we lost probably 15 years ago or so. But it's just not the same. Losing our original Mario Party is one of our biggest gaming mishaps, but no use dwelling in our mistakes. Well, how about we pop in our faded replacement copy to relive our childhood and take a nostalgia trip together to see if we can find out if this really was our first video game that we beat. Classic Mario Party. So Mario Party was released in 1998, but didn't reach the rest of the world till about early 1999. The game opens up to what appears to be a circle jerk with Toad in the middle. Wait, no, excuse us. They're just having a friendly debate about who the true superstar is. Our bad. What does it take to be a superstar, you might be asking? Glad you asked. Wario and DK think you need to be strong and powerful, but strength alone isn't the answer. What about courage, wisdom? Oh, and can't forget about kindness. Sorry, Twitter users, but yeah. Honestly though, we love this trailer. Super Mario Party on the Switch has a similar opening to the original, which is a pretty cool callback. All the characters here are tenacious about their own self-evaluation of what qualities it takes to be a superstar. Kinda like when you debate on the playground about who the best Naruto character is and why they would be the best Hokage. The argument gets rather heated, like any superstar debate would, and Toad has a breaking moment. He comes up with a solution to solving this important question. He proposes that everyone should sort it out in an adventure, a game of Mario Party. Whoever makes it on top of the adventure will be awarded the title Superstar, thus making Toad the founding father of Mario Party. After hopping into the warp pipe, here we are in Mushroom Village, a nice, quiet, relaxing village. The music is calming and peaceful. It really just puts you in a cheerful mood, which is rather ironic because once you play a round of Mario Party with your friends, you end up all hating each other's guts. Then you're brought back here to this nice, warm environment. Woo! God damn it! Hitting me.
Dang it.
I won. Let's go. Come on, that was bold. You did not deserve that. I was clearly winning all game. All game? No, that was me. You just kept stealing my stars.
Well, you also kept landing past the stars every time you went into the cannon.
You kept switching the cannons every turn. Yeah, and somehow I didn't even get the happening space boning star. What a load of ass.
Baby.
Oh, don't even started on bonus stars. I literally won every mini game.
Actually, you
didn't. I did.
Two.
No. If I recall, I'm the one who scored a 99 on Facelift.
Okay, that one is actually rigged. I technically should have won that one.
That chance time
fucked
the entire game up on the last 5 turns, and that's why you won.
Let's go again, round 2, baby. I mean, it's just a game.
Shut up, Clayton. Shut up, Clayton. So there's a few buildings scattered around the village. We got the item shop, a raft, minigame house, option house, the bank, and the warp pipe. What about the story mode or single player mode? Yeah, how can you beat this game if there's no story mode? Hold on. There is a plot, or in other words, a secret plot. If you select Here Game Rules, Toad will take you to Rules Land where he explains how the game works. We can just fast forward this because, I mean, come on. Everyone knows how to play good old traditional Mario Party. Unless you've only played these ones. If you want to be crowned the victor, you must collect more stars than everyone else. Yeah, sure, kind of the same concept as these ones, but these ones are it just ain't the same. You just don't get the full true experience. Anyway, at the very end of Rules Land, Toad mentions something will happen if you collect a certain number of stars. And if you check out the bank, the Toad seated on the right informs you that if you manage to collect 100 stars, then an event will take place. Looks like we're gonna have to do some grinding on a lot of games of Mario Party because we don't have any stars in the bank, since this is a new copy. Well, only one way to figure that out. Let's head off into the warp pipe where adventure awaits and your one-stop shop to end your relationships with your best friends. So this game only has 6 playable characters. You got Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, and Donkey Kong. Why did I have to get rid of him in the later games? Mike always uses Luigi, while I main Yoshi in this one. You start out with 6 out of the 8 boards. 1 board based on each character. Each board has a difficulty rating, ranging from 1 to 3, 3 being the hardest. Each board also has their own little plot to them, which is pretty unique. Like Donkey Kong's level, DK's Jungle Adventure is about a quest to open a giant hidden chest that contains treasure. Yoshi's level requires the players to collect stars to reunite the 2 Yoshis, and Peach's story requires lighting the candles on the cake. So profound. Wario's level is a bit different. You play in the middle of an ongoing battlefield. Yeah, that's right. You're smack dab in the middle of a war between the red Bob-ombs and the black Bob-ombs. The goal here for this map is to put an end to this fight and bring justice and peace between the 2 sides. Which is rather ironic because back when we were kids, we decided to have a fun family game of Mario Party with the both of us and our dad. Some good old father and son bonding. I remember being in the lead the whole entire game, but Matt had a huge comeback towards the end of the game and won. And of course, the salt kicked in, so in my head, I thought the best way to handle my anger and rage was to throw my controller at the N64 the moment Matt was revealed a superstar. I ran upstairs immediately thinking to myself, yeah, that was the right move. There really was no real winner because the game froze. Yeah, take that, asshole. No peace was established that day between the 2 of us. Not only do they have their own plots, but each stage also has different gimmicks and events in order to obtain stars or coins. Mario's board, Mario's Rainbow Castle, is the most generic out of the 8 total boards. In fact, it's the only board that has a traditional board game start to finish style, as opposed to the other boards where you have to travel all the way around before you meet back up with Koopa, who gives you 10 coins, similar to Pass and Go in Monopoly. We consider this to be the perfect beginner level to play on with some friends who haven't played this version yet. When you reach to the end of the map, you ride Whoosh the Cloud up to the tower where Toad awaits with a star. However, as simple as it sounds, there's some minor strategies to be made that have huge payoffs. When you get a star, the tower rotates to the other side, and surprise, Bowser is here. Make your way to him and say goodbye to 40 coins as he rewards you with the Czar. Damn, for some reason this used to terrify us when we were kids. Like, what the hell is this? An evil star? Every time we would get this, we felt cursed and would start crying and whining like big babies. Still kind of do that to this day. Just like Toad, Bowser's also placed somewhere on all of the boards. His sole mission? To steal your coins with the various amounts of scams he has up his sleeves to prevent you from purchasing any stars. You can avoid him by taking the longer detours at the 2 junctions and hope the other players get ahead, or landing on the happening space to rotate the tower back to Toad. It always gets heated when 3 or more players are all piled up at the end, and thus the fighting begins. Luigi's board is a tad similar because there's a lot of strategizing on this one. Even though this level is a level 3 difficulty, we played this one a lot as kids. Yeah, we were the pioneers of the cool kids table in the lunchroom. Actually, yeah, just kidding. One time in 2nd grade, some girl stuck her foot out and tripped me, and I dropped my hot dog, and I wanted to cry. I mean, just look at it. So complex and confusing at first glance. There's multiple routes and pipes, along with these stupid ass gates that block specific parts of the map. At the start of each turn, one set of either red or blue doors go up or down. One color goes up, then nope, you can't go that way. It's blocked off. The other color doors are down though, which means you can only go through that path. So you gotta 5-head each turn and think ahead to what's going to happen on the upcoming turn. The doors are closed, meaning they will open on the next turn. Okay, I'll take my chances and go up and land in front of it. That way on the next turn, they will open up and I don't need to risk rolling a low number to go through. But then another player can pay 20 coins to this robot called Pasudin to switch the gates. You can also accidentally, or purposely, land on a happening space, which also switches the doors. Oh, come on. Toad was right there. You messed up my entire plan. Oh yeah, Toad. Toad switches locations all across the map after purchasing a star. But for Mario's map, he is confined to one spot. The only other map that has Toad stationed in one spot for the entire game is Peach's birthday cake. Peach's map is all about that luck and sweet, sweet RNG. Toad awaits for you in the middle of the cake, and as you make your way to Toad, you're greeted by a Goomba who is blocking 2 paths. You are forced to pay 10 coins to take part in his bullshit lottery. So, there's 4 different colored seeds. You must pick one and hope that the flower that blooms reveals a picture of Toad. 3 out of the 4 have Toad's face, while 1 has a picture of Bowser's. Pay correctly and you get to pay Toad a visit. Choose incorrectly and sorry, but you gotta go up to Bowser's little cake and pay him a visit. So, if 3 players go before you and pick the correct seeds, well, you're f***ed because then that means Bowser's the only one remaining. We also love that Goomba gets all upset when you pick a Toad seed. He considers that a loss and apologizes to you that you don't get to see Bowser. Like, he feels bad for you. Wario's board has a lot of random luck and RNG factors to it as well. There are 5 separate pieces of land scattered throughout the map. Red Bob-ombs control one half, where black Bob-ombs control the other half of the turf. and Bowser is seated in the middle. When you pass a bomb, you have no choice but to oblige to their demands to be used as ammo. They shoot you to the platform to whichever direction the cannon is pointed to. Okay, this part can be a little unfair depending on the circumstances. Let's just say you're being shot to the platform where the star is located. Get this, the spot in which you will land is based on a random roulette-like sequence. Yeah, meaning some good old RNG. Close your eyes, press A and pray, and hope that you'll land on the spot where you desire. Donkey Kong's and Yoshi's level don't require that much random RNG-like events in order to require the star, but there's a whole lot of bullshit, I'll tell you that. So Donkey Kong's level isn't as bad. Pretty simple layout. You have to pay thwomps that guard the junctions. There's also these paywalls or coin stones that you can't pass if you don't have 20 or more coins. Let's say you're on your way to get the star and you're feeling mighty confident and proud of yourself that you're making some moves. Man, look at you go. But then out of nowhere, when you least expect it, either you or worse, another player lands on a happening space. Well, roll up those sleeves and get ready to turn the game off. By switching the flip off, okay, show a little class here. Or unfollow them via Twitter because you're too afraid to tell them how you really feel. Because when a player lands on a happening space, a big ass boulder will come rolling on a set path that forces you to run all the way back towards the start. Anyone else on the path too will be sent running for their lives as well. This board is the biggest with 86 spaces, but it feels so common to land on any one of those 9 happening spaces. It can get really frustrating at times, but not as frustrating as Yoshi's Tropical Island. Yeah, this nice relaxing getaway is far from that. The only thing getting away on this vacation is the fucking star that you fought so hard to get. Yeah, right as you're nearing in on it, someone lands on a happening space, and big ass Bubba comes flying in and takes Toad to the opposite island, causing Bowser to come sailing in to replace him. And then next turn, your day's ruined. Happening spaces can really determine the fate of a game of Mario Party. But not only that, they are vital spaces to land on because, well, after the end of each game of Mario Party, it's time for bonus stars. There's 3 extra stars that are awarded to players who either received the most coins during minigames, had the most coins at one point during any part of the game, and yep, the player who landed on the most happening spaces. These happening spaces are a gift within a curse. They change the direction of where the cannons will shoot in Wario's level. I mean, not that it matters as much because if you pass the bomb to shoot you to the land where a star is present, it's not like you're guaranteed that star anyway. Landing on a happening space on Peach's board will present you the option to purchase that space as a piece of land. Spend 30 coins, you can plant a strawberry seed that grows into a piranha plant. Man, this cake was looking so tasty too, and now it's ruined. Dirty footprints walking all over it? Yeah, no big deal. But man, eating piranha plants? Yeah, no thank you. That's where we draw the line. And trust us, these piranhas are quite the bitch. If you end up landing on another player's own property and happen to have a star, well, just hope that you weren't super connected with it because now it's gone. This board is best played with 4 players though. Pair the RNG lottery and the piranha plants scattered all across the board, you have yourself a perfect recipe for a complete disaster of fun. Piranha plants aren't the only pieces of garbage to steal your stars. No. Boo is another character that is placed on each board, excluding Peach's board. Boo can either be your best friend that will do anything for you like a f***ing bro. Aw, what up, Boo? They provide services, like going out of the way to steal a random amount of coins from a selected player for free. Bruh. And yep, Boos can steal stars too. So make sure to save up over 50 coins to f*** over someone. You wanna know what else takes your hard-earned stars away? Chance time spaces. Fuck chance times. It's the absolute worst feeling to ever experience. You think breakups are bad? You have not truly gone through a heartbreaking moment if you haven't found yourself in one of these unforgiving situations. Anytime you're in first place and feeling so confident, just forget it. Stop that. Words of advice? Never, and I mean never go into a game of Mario Party full of confidence and optimism. You think you're doing great? Then bam, chance time. And all of a sudden, Mr. Suck-ass 4th place takes the lead. Just like that, in the blink of an eye. Gone. All gone. You have just enough coins to buy that star you're right next to? Chance time. It's the last 5 turns and you finally pass first place? Chance time. Seriously, it's the worst. You'll lose sleep thinking about this space. Repeatedly thinking to yourself, if only. We always try to avoid it at all costs. And if we do happen to land on it, we always aim for the middle box first. The box that indicates what will be taken or given. The first hit goes by slower, so you can calculate and press A accordingly. We normally avoid hitting the star space because we don't want to risk screwing ourselves and give up our stars. Unless we're desperate. Our tip is to wait till a star icon passes by because coin events always follow. The CPUs, on the other hand, just crank up your anxiety dial on you to full blast because they're programmed to hit the 2 player boxes on the outside first. And when it's time to see what's going to happen, that box is flying 1,000,000 miles per hour. What's it going to be? Oh shit, please just let me keep my star. I'll do anything. I'll give 10 coins. I don't care. What do you want? 20? 30? Our PSA 10 Charizard? Bowser spaces are nothing compared to chance time. You think those red intimidating spaces scare you? No, they're not even close. Unless the roulette lands on Bowser chance time, then you're ultra f***ed. Bowser just likes to mess with your money in multiple different ways. I wouldn't trust Bowser to be my financial advisor, or if he ever comes out with Bowser Crypto. But hey, at least the star spaces are fun. No, they don't give you a star. You just get to play a single player minigame to collect some coins all by yourself without the other ass. There's also mushroom spaces that grant you a super mushroom, which means you can roll again and progress further in one turn, or a poisonous mushroom that forces you to lose your next turn. When you land on them, you don't get to keep the mushrooms so that you can use them in a more convenient time. No, it uses it automatically upon landing on it. Unlike other installments of Mario Party games, you can't purchase items on the boards and use them to your likings, such as setting up different strategies or traps. Now, there is technically a shop in this version, although it's in the overworld located on the bottom left of the screen. It's owned by a snazzy looking toad that sells all kinds of items that you can purchase from the coins you collected in games of Mario Party. There's a plus block that gives you the same amount of coins as the number you rolled, the minus block that causes you to lose the same amount of coins as the number you rolled, the speed block that only contains numbers 8 through 10, and then the opposite, the slow block, which has numbers 1 through 3, a warp block that switches places between you and a randomly chosen player, and then the event block that spawns either Boo, Bowser, or Koopa Troopa to you. You can turn these items on or off in the bank to whatever suits your preferences. We typically like to have them all on when we play. However, all of these items spawn randomly at any given moment, but it does still add a bit of excitement to a game. These blocks are either rewarding or super disruptive, just like how Mario Party should be. Unfair and unreasonable. There are some other items you can purchase in the shop too, but we'll mention those a little later. For now, we're going to talk about that big juicy item you can get after playing all 6 boards at least once. You get a new board for 980 coins. Wow. But it's so worth it because damn, this was so cool to us back in the day. This board is called Magma Mountain and is owned by Bowser. Bowser awaits you at the top of the volcano, and the goal here is to gather the stars and defeat him. And man, what an intense and terrifying level. It's so different from the other ones because of the darker theme and atmosphere. The visuals just scream N64 graphics. It's just shoved in your face. The details and design blend so well together. The purple sky and the molten red lava makes a perfect match. All of the boards, in fact, are created so well and hold true to each character's personalities and references to games that they appear in. You got Golden Bananas that's hidden deep in the jungle. Yoshi's board is inspired by Yoshi's Island, given that it takes place on, well, an island. By looking at the course from above, the 2 islands are made up to look like 2 Yoshis. The fruit resembles the fruit you eat in Yoshi's Story. They look so tasty, just like Peach's cake. Like the actual cake, you sick f***s. The little touches found on and around the board really complete the look and the aesthetic. Peach has a knack for baking cakes like in Mario 64. Super Mario 64 has a few other references. Just look at Mario's board. It's heavily inspired by the wing cap courses. Luigi's floating ship bears similarities to the ship in Rainbow Ride. The bomb cannons in Wario's board are found here too. Enough about the graphics. You hear that? Oh, fuck yeah, this music is a banger. Hey, can we blast this to full capacity? Yeah, just keep going. Just keep going. The first time we heard this song as kids, we felt like the baddest, coolest motherfuckers known to mankind. When I played football back in high school with my older brother, we would bump music like 5 Finger Death Punch on the way to football practice at 5 in the morning in our mom's minivan to help wake us up and get us pumped. 5 Finger Death Punch? Hello? Why the hell did we not bump this shit instead? Man, biggest regret of my high school career. However, we did bump this masterpiece in the comfort of our own home when we were like 3. In the treehouse called the Option House, you can listen to music. First, you're greeted with a "Good evening" by this grumpy bastard. Hands off your controller and nobody move. Be absolutely careful if you ever come in here. This dude wants nothing to do with you besides wanting to delete your precious save data. He doesn't care about how you're doing, doesn't care about how your latest Mario Party game went, doesn't even care that we made this pizza. Dude, how could you not acknowledge this pizza? It has fresh mozzarella on it. I mean, come on. Quick, take them off. I'm trying. He's gonna f***ing kill us, dude. Yeah, because we just kill his entire family. Now just shut up and help me take him off. We're gonna die. He does have a parrot. He'll talk to you. You know, listen to all your problems. I'm depressed.
I got it.
Do we have ADHD? And then there's also this lever. Ooh. Oh my god. I think we really do have ADHD. And last but not least, there's the sacred beloved jukebox. Damn, this is so nostalgic to us. If you buy the record from the item shop, you can listen to the various songs within the game. We remember listening to every song early in the mornings in our basement. We also played a game that we made up called Band. Alright, let us explain. Our older sister was involved in bands, plays, choirs, and all that crap when she was in school. So the school would always set up concerts, and being the youngest, we were always forced to go. We had no choice. We would suffer and be bored out of our minds the entire time. We got this idea to make band concerts fun for us. Alright, this is really dumb, but just bear with us for a moment. Much like the minigame Mario Bandstand, one of us would be the conductor while the other one was a member of the band. Whoever the conductor was, they would turn around and close their eyes, while the person in the band scoured the messy basement to look for an object, any object to use as an instrument, like a football or a piece of Thomas the Train track. The conductor would then pick a song to their liking on the jukebox and turn around to conduct the band. We would listen to the song and use our imagination to be creative with how we can use the object as an instrument. Clearly we're cringe. Let's get back to Magma Mountain. So we would blast this song and listen to it for hours. Like we already said, this song is cool, but the stage certainly isn't. This board is a nightmare. When you come across the volcano head-like statues, you can decide if you want to take shortcuts up the mountain to get closer to the star, but Bowser will give you the option if you want to pay a 10-coin fee. If you have the balls to say yes, you have to play a roulette game of hitting this block. If a star icon is revealed, then congrats, you get to proceed through the shortcut. Land on Bowser, then nope, you're going the long way. If you make it towards the top, there rests the ultimate volcano statue. If you win, then you'll go down the safe route that loops back to the beginning. And hey, Boo's here too. If you lose, then you're stuck running into Bowser. And no, he doesn't just pull a scam and steal your coins like the other encounters from the previous 6 stages. No. You have to play another roulette to decide your fate. Or one of your stars, if you have any. Oh, and if you land on the happening space, you wake the volcano. Bowser dances with glee as it rains down molten rocks that encases the board with red spaces. All blue spaces turn into red. What a fucking mess. Despite all this madness that the board offers, it's actually the most fun and engaging board in our opinion. It keeps everyone on their toes, the roulettes provoke panic attacks, the red spaces raining down from the volcano creates an uproar. So many strategies and risky maneuvers are essential on this board. But the most unique aspect about this board is the ending theme. It's quite distinctive from the other boards. Whoever comes in first place defeats Bowser. But look, all 3 other players are here too. In the 6 standard boards, the last place finisher gets completely shitted on and something unfortunate happens to them. Each board has a magical ending that warms the heart. Using the stars that were collected, they come together to form some good out of them. Although you can't help but to feel bad for whoever came in dead last. Losers that place dead ass last may experience getting shot out of a cannon to who knows where, getting swept away to their undeserving death by Bubba, unending fear as they get chased down by a boulder for the rest of their lives, or severe pain as they get their ass blasted over and over while Bowser laughs at your suffering, while the winner gets their own victory screen, insolently reminding everyone of their lack of skills. Yeah, just like the boards, each character also has their own unique victory screen. Mario Party 1 is the only game where this happens, and honestly, it was such a great idea. The victory screen is displayed whenever you boot up the game. It shows the character who won last, and the screens look so good. Yoshi's victory screen shows him playing volleyball with the boys as he makes a heroic dive for the ball. Peach's screen shows everyone f***ing up her masterpiece of a cake. Come on guys, get it together. Wario's is one of our favorites. The way the sky looks and the legions of bombs charging in as everyone joins forces to be the kings and queen of the hill. Oh, and if you thought Luigi had it rough in some games, man, Wario got the shit of the stick in some of these victory screens. Damn, talk about bad luck. Bad luck. Yeah, anytime you play this game, just hope that the good luck spirits are on your side that day because this game is ruthless. You think you're simply going to play a game of Mario Party to determine who the real superstar will be? Oh, no. You're forgetting an important aspect. You have to remember, you cannot simply play a game of Mario Party. It's full of selfishness and greed to do whatever it takes to come out on top. It always turns into a war no matter who's playing. It's a dangerous game out there. The game starts out in the peaceful streets of Mushroom Village. You start a game on a beautifully decorated cake with cheery music, joyfully running around in the quiet woods playing musical chairs. But then before you know it, you're skating over an unstable brick road, jumping over thwomps, racing for your life so you don't fall into lava, jumping over a jump rope made of fire, bloopers suddenly grab you and drag you away through the vast ocean, falling to your death, limbo, running from this giant horrifying looking boo while fighting smaller ones. Damn, these boos scared us as kids. There's a minigame called Ghost Guess where you're surrounded by a circle of boos in a creepy looking cave. Only one of the ghosts contains the treasure. The trick is by looking at their terrifying looking shadows to see who moves first. But we were so afraid of this when we were younger because every second they inch closer and closer, causing you to panic, making it harder for you to focus. And if you guess wrong, they close in on you, never to be seen again. I legit had reoccurring nightmares of boos chasing me while I ran for my life to escape. I was traumatized and feared these boos would show up at any given moment. Fearing boos is one thing, but have you ever feared losing your coins in some minigames? Pretty bull if you ask us. Losing coins isn't like losing them to random duels or battles in other Mario parties. No, like Bash and Cash, the most unfair and cruelest game of all time right here. It's a 1v3 game, where 3 players bash the life out of the player who's dressed in an oversized Bowser costume. You have to survive a whole 30 seconds trying not to get hit, and if you do, you lose 5 coins. It's the worst. Whoever's Bowser might as well just put your controller down and accept it. Just embrace being bankrupt now and get it over with. Some of these scoring system games are total ass too. Don't get us wrong, they're fun and all, but come on, how is that not a perfect score? It's spot on. You're gonna tell me that the CPUs looks better? Fuck, my scarecrow drawing from kindergarten is way more proportionate than that. I mean, just look at it. Yeah, my teacher made me cross out some of my crows. Why? What's wrong with them? Did my coin not meet your standards too? Why couldn't she just let me express myself? But the most dangerous minigames of them all? Analog stick minigames. Quick disclaimer. What we're about to show might cause trauma or PTSD to those who played original Mario Party, whether it was in their childhood, adulthood, or recently. Fuck analog stick games, man. These games are worse than burning your hand on the stove. Worse than voluntarily shoving your hand in a bag full of thumbtacks. You think stepping on a tiny little Lego is bad? Pussy! You're all softer than our entire Build-A-Bear collection. You haven't played Mario Party if the skin on your hand hasn't melted off. You will sustain blisters for weeks. Nintendo had to send in gloves to concerned parents. It was that big of a deal. You should be awarded a trophy for surviving a game of tug-of-war. Oh shit, is that a boo chasing you? Only way to prevent it from killing you is losing your hand. Trust us, it's worth the trade. You know what they say, humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return. To obtain, something of equal value must be lost. That is alchemy's first law of equivalent exchange. I feel nothing, but endured so much. But have you ever played bumper balls? This pain and suffering is actually worth something. Minigames are played after all 4 players have moved. There's actually a lot of great minigames here. Platform Peril, Tipsy Turner, you got Treasure Divers and Buried Treasures, a couple of all-time classics for us growing up. Bomb Skip Ball is our favorite 2v2 minigame, next to Bobsled Run and Deep Sea Divers. Yes, an analog stick, but not as extreme as some of the other ones. Mike and I were pros at Shell Game back in the day and still hold that title. The lucrative minigames where you collect an abundance amount of coins like Hammer Drop, Castaways, Coin Shower Flower, Coin Block Bash, Coin Block Blitz, and Box Mountain Mayhem are so addictingly satisfying. When Matt and I play the minigame Shy Guy Says, it honestly feels like we play for 10 minutes. By the time you're done cooking a bag of ramen, we'll still be playing. It's reminiscent of Simon Says, where the Shy Guy holds either a red or white flag. If it's white, press A. If it's red, press B. Sometimes he's a little scumbag and tries to fake you out. If you misclick or if you're too slow, then see you later. Hop-a-Bomb is pretty bullshit. Bomb's Way is chaotic, but hell, it's so much fun. Keep Away is interesting. You all have to cooperate and work as a team to get the key at the end while the other players block the Koopas. You guys are still playing? But none of these minigames stack up to the greatest, yet simplistic, masterpiece known as Mushroom Mix-Up. By far the best minigame, and no, we don't want to hear your valid opinion stating otherwise. Not hearing it. Unless you're colorblind. Toad raises a random colored flag, and all players frantically run over to that colored mushroom, while the other mushrooms submerge into the water, so you better be quick. Such a classic right here though. It even made its return in Mario Party Superstars on the Switch. And hey, look, now colorblind people can play. Overall, the 50 minigames are nice, genuine, nostalgic fun. I mean, the analog sticks are one of a kind, so yeah, we'll count them. You don't see these types of minigames anymore since they were never brought back. Pour one out for analog stick games. No? Okay. You can even head over to the minigame house to test and hone your skills. There's a few things you can do here, like spin this fly guy that you can buy from the item shop. Oh fuck. This here's Puff. You can play the minigames that you unlocked if you play them in a round of Mario Party, but before you play them, you gotta buy them first. Luckily, there's this face that's tucked here in the corner. Selecting it allows you to play Potto Skills, a stadium-like mode where players compete head-to-head in minigames at the minigame stadium. Man, this board is simply amazing. It's an open-air stadium filled with cheering fans and statues of each character. It has this sports Olympic feel to it, the perfect environment for some good old competitive action. There's no stars involved, just go around the board and compete in minigames. Whoever collects the most coins at the end wins. It's so simple, but it works. Afterwards, your coins carry over to the bank. But if you want to make even more bank, then invest in either the Lucky Box, which gives you a 10% interest, or the Casino Box if you're feeling a little bit more ballsy. It's what the cool kids pick. You bet your coins to either randomly double your coins, make no changes, or lose half. It fucking sucks, don't use it. But now you can buy more minigames, even though some are a bit pricey, so grinding is a must. And wait, what's this? An extra page in the one-player minigame section? Wait a second, we thought we played all 50 of them. Quite the mystery. Well, speaking of minigames, let's hop on board the raft and take a quick little trip to Minigame Island. Now we're talking. Aside from the main mode, this is probably our favorite of all Mario Party extras and bonus modes. It's this or hockey. It's hard to decide. We can hear the nostalgia speaking to us right now. We had so many great memories adventuring through the various worlds. We love the graphics and the little details. It almost feels like you're playing Super Mario World on the N64. The goal here is to travel through 9 worlds and clear all 50 minigames. Minigames are assigned to areas to match the setting and atmosphere. The first couple games are quite a breeze, but we have fond memories of getting stuck at Paddle Battle in World 1. So the goal for this game is to aggressively rotate the analog stick to create enough power to push the raft to the opposite land, where a spear guy stabs the other players with a f***ing spear, which gives you their coins. But it's a 1v3 game, so you need to rotate that sucker 3 times more than the other 3 players, on top of dodging oncoming boulders. The 2 of us, along with our older brother and sister, would take turns passing the controller around, absolutely destroying our hands. It was so bad, we had to get band-aids. Upon finally beating that atrocious battle, we would get stuck at Limbo Dance 2 games later. This game is pure bullshit, trust us. But then Tug of War shortly after this. Did we mention this game was the worst? But there was another minigame that took even longer and created emotional pain, not physical. So at the very end, you reached the goal, and congrats, you completed all 50 minigames. But wait, one more challenge awaits us. That's right, the grand finale. The ultimate showdown with Toad, where we had to compete against him in a round of slot car derby. But not just any slot car derby. We face off on a much bigger, crazier course. So the controls are as follows. Move the analog stick. No, not rotate it, but just move it lightly. However, our incompetent brains did not perform this simple procedure. No, we held that fucker down. More power, more speed. Yeah, the perfect equation. We're spinning. Why are we spinning out? And Toad finished. Just 4 games before this, we had to win a race of slot car derby against computers, but on a much smaller track. We even struggled with this one for a long time. So did we ever defeat Toad back in the day? No. We gave up. Retired Minigame Island and never came back to it. And also lost a cartridge too, but we don't like bringing that up. It makes us depressed. So years and years go by. We decided to pick up Minigame Island on our shitty Twitch stream, and we can now proudly say we are survivors of Minigame Island. What a glorious moment and achievement. We stayed up till like 6 in the morning. We had work the next day, but we didn't care. We just had to beat it. We were mentally drained and exhausted. Race after race after race. And finally, we both beat Toad's sorry little ass. And all of our 2 viewers were there to celebrate. And then we forgot to save the VOD, so there's no proof. Well, actually, there is proof, because, you see, it unlocks the mysterious games in the minigame room. This completely blew our minds that day. We had no idea these Bumper Ball Maze games existed. This was our first time seeing this, even though the game was released for like 20 years at that time. Simply roll your way to the finish line without falling off. It's not that simple. There are 3 versions of this game, and yeah, great stuff. So we beat Minigame Island, but that doesn't mean we beat the game. Nope, we need to deposit more stars in the bank until we reach the big 100. We didn't know that you had to collect 100 stars until a little later on. We always just played for fun, and hell, we may even deleted our file a couple times without even knowing. Oh come on, we can barely read. And look, it's a red button. How can you blame us? So yeah, after realizing an event will take place after getting 100 stars, we took the game a tad bit more seriously. We grinded stars out by playing with our older brother and sister, played with our friends, and the 4 of us. Yeah, there may be 2 of us, but we multiplied and created more clones by plugging in 2 extra controllers and played as all 4 characters. Yeah, cloning people is a bunch of nonsense. Unless, of course, you manage to read the Forbidden Scroll. We did this because, well, the star bank only accumulates the stars that an actual player collected, not the CPUs. So we took initiative into our own hands and cheated? Play the system. Yeah, play the system. So what happens when you finally work your ass off and collect 100 stars? Just take a guess. Throw a huge party and celebrate? Yeah, unlock a new character like Toad? No. The sign on the minigame house comes to life and reveals to be Samus as an unlockable character? Wait, what? No, Bowser breaks into the bank, steals your stars, and calls you a piece of shit. Alright, but for real, let's take a step back. This was a groundbreaking moment for us when we witnessed this event as kids. It was so mysterious. We were frightened by the footprints coming out of the bank and into the warp pipe. The music changed to a more sinister song, piquing our curiosity. I mean, come on. The game tried to warn us from the very beginning about Bowser. In the item shop, if you pause at the perfect moment, a wanted poster is hanging right there. well, only one thing left to do. Get a revenge and take back our stars. Now it's time to answer the question if we beat Mario Party once and for all. So when you head down into the warp pipe, you can only select one board, a new board titled Eternal Star. The description states that it's the final contest. You travel into space, where the board is made up of a giant star. It's broken into several pieces, and riddled with graffiti from crayons. Yes, I said crayons. You heard me correctly. Bowser introduces his cohorts, the baby Bowsers, who take the place of Toad. There are 7 of them scattered throughout the board, and in order to obtain a star, you have to win a dice block game and roll a higher number. There are teleporters or warp machines that take you to different parts of the map, so you're not always sure where you're going to end up. And if you end up running into Bowser, he'll steal your stars, so yeah, it can get pretty difficult. And that was our major problem. We vividly remember huddling around our wooden box CRT in our basement, taking turns, and being so absorbed in this adventure. This is where our biggest gaming conspiracy takes place. There are so many questions surrounding this moment. Did we actually beat Mario Party? Did we take turns and share the controller after a certain number of rounds? I mean, that's what we did with Minigame Island as kids. What if we share the controller on the last turn and won together? Did we both play and only one of us won? And if so, which one of us beat it? Was this too difficult for us, causing us to give up? Did we even beat it at all? Were we able to become superstars? And that's it. That's the end of the story. We honestly don't remember if we beat this game or not. Maybe this wasn't our first game we beat. For some reason, this memory just isn't as clear as we thought it was. We do know that this was such a fun game for us growing up, and it did shape up a good piece of our childhood. We'll always cherish our times with this game, good or bad. Sure, it's pretty ridiculous to stress out over stuff like this, but it's our number one passion. So of course, not 100% knowing what our first video game we beat was will hover in our consciousness. And who knows, maybe one day we'll figure out the answer. Let's be real though, Putt Putt Saves the Zoo was most likely our first video game we ever beat.